hello. It's good to see you again. Hope you're enjoying these lessons and that you're learning some things. We saw a first lesson about salvation. We saw a lesson about baptism. And now this lesson that we're looking at now is about sharing your testimony. I'm going to sign it this way for testimony. What I want to share with you are 3 points here concerning giving your testimony. This also is found in the book that you have received, and you'll see this in your book. And this will help you to understand these 3 pieces of sharing your testimony. As you tell somebody your testimony begins with your life. What has happened to you? How is it that Jesus comes to your life? You will want to tell things that happened in your life before you were saved. For example, before you were a Christian, Jesus was not in your life. What was your life like before? Was it good? Was it bad? Was it awful? There was no Jesus in your life. That's the first part of sharing your testimony. Explain what happened in your life before. You don't have to tell them a long story. You can tell them a short part about what happened in your life. Your life before Christ is what you will tell them in the first piece of your testimony. But in the second piece of your testimony, you will want to tell them how Jesus came into your life. You can describe what the Bible said to you, what some friend or what a preacher said, how you felt conviction about your sin. What was it that you felt? How did you come to realize that you needed Jesus, that you were lost, that you were separated from God? Explain that, how that happened in your life. And then how Jesus came into your life and you were saved. That's the second part of sharing your testimony. Now, the third part in sharing your testimony, Jesus is already in your life, and isn't that a great thing? Now life is different. Now that Jesus has come into your life, He has changed you and made a difference in the way you live your life, in how you live in relationship with God, and how you have a new joy, and how you're learning about Christ. Life is not the same now with Christ as it was before Christ. There's been a big change in who you are. These are the 3 parts of sharing a testimony. This is what I mean when I say share your testimony. All 3 of those pieces as what has happened to you. Don't copy somebody else's story. Tell what happened to you on how life was before Christ, how you came to know Christ, and then third, what your life has been like now, what you've learned, how you've gotten involved in serving Him and serving other people. All that's included in sharing your testimony. You will see that in the book that you have, and it will explain that as well. At the very end of this lesson, it will have a series of verses in that book. And maybe you'll want to take those verses and share them in between the first part and the second part of your testimony. That will help people to understand as well. You, of course, will learn a whole lot more verses, but those verses will support your testimony as you share with other people, the people that you meet. You will share your testimony, how life was before Christ, how I came to know Christ, what my life is like now. That's sharing your testimony. That's being saved. That will help other people who need to know Jesus as well. You know, there was a time when you were like them and you didn't know Christ. Now it's your time to share your story with other people. That's our lesson 3 on giving your testimony. All right? Remember it.